Welcome to Thumb Therapy Spooktober.
What are you doing?
I'm being spooky.
Alright.
Tonight on the Butcher's Block is Castlevania Symphony of the... Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Nope. Yes. One of those was right. But before we get to that, don't forget to do all the usual things like, share, especially like. I'm not as fluid as I am today, but you know, it's working-ish. Like, share, comment, and then comment again. And then comment and tell your friends, and tag your friends, and then they'll tag 2 friends, and then they'll tag 2 friends, and then they'll tag 2 friends, and then subscribe. Because that's the most important thing.
No, hitting the bell.
Oh, the bell! Yes, don't forget to hit that taco bell so that we can all get the shits and keep getting this crappy content.
Bloodstained is an homage to the classic Metroidvanias of the 80s and 90s.
Because let's face it, the modern day ones really suck.
But is it really worth it?
Or is it a rehashing of a story that's so beloved and honestly not worth retelling?
I played this on PC and I give you my specs, but honestly, even the developer said it could run on any potato PC. Minimal to no technical issues with the game, aside from the occasional frame rate drop when there's dozens of on-screen spells being thrown, and it's safe to say that was likely my rig. As for the gameplay, I can see why Igarashi signed on. This game exudes everything the Metroidvania genre, beloved Koji Igarashi practically invented, should. Tight, well-timed, almost rhythmic combat, a massive map to explore with tons of hidden books and crannies, and most importantly, little to no direction. Its extensive armory of weapon styles and accompanying unlockable combos allow anyone to have their own unique playstyle too, even if they're not familiar with Castlevania. There are some mechanics that seem like frivolous last-minute additions, like the cooking or the crafting.
Because why the original?
But they were still useful systems if you decided to use them despite not needing them at all. Once you felt the desperation of needing a save point, the satisfaction of finding one, and the dread of not having a teleporter nearby, you'll truly understand the elegance of this platformer and its excellent design.
I had the pleasure and disappointment of playing this on the PS4 and Nintendo Switch. The PS4 ran well enough, though the loading times are a bit annoying, and nothing I haven't experienced in even bigger AAA titles, so because this is an indie game, it will get a pass. Sadly, the disappointment was the Switch version. Considering that this is a pretty special title, the fact that it runs so poorly on that beautiful little handheld hurts my soul. Especially because my favorite way to play Symphony of the Night is handheld on the Vita. So I elected to skip the Switch version altogether and just play the PS4 copy instead. The gameplay of this game more than makes up for its technical shortcomings, as it's a true callback to the golden age of Metroidvania. It introduces RPG styles and action gameplay with a mix of combos for unique weaponry. Though I'm not gonna lie, I hate fighting games with combo mechanics. So I truly went out of my way to not use any, and it definitely worsened my gameplay experience. It's on me though.
Yeah. If more supernatural, gothic, demonically driven games had fun aesthetics like this, I would play them way more. When I hear exorcisms, vampires, and 1800s, I picture a lot of black, gray, and if we're lucky, crimson. And despite the fact that this game has plenty of those 3 colors, every other color under the rainbow is tastefully applied to areas that would benefit from their composition. Going back to the traditional qualities of such a grim genre though, you'd expect most enemy types and environments to be extremely gothic, almost Catholic in nature, riddled with the likes of hellhounds, dementors, or Disney's gargoyles. And again, while they all are present, get ready to bear arms against everything from a ninja monkey to a beheaded Shih Tzu chain chomp. They're just as vicious as Mario's counterpart too. The setting and everything that resides in it is proof that games about dark subject matter don't have to literally be dark. With the right design choices, they can compete in vibrancy and creativity with any cute mascots franchise.
It is so refreshing to see a game with as dark a tone as this not take itself too seriously. Yes, you're battling demons and the Agents of Darkness, but you're also fighting a giant lazy cat stuck in a portal, a dashhound that skipped leg day, and a YouTuber named Shady Cicada? Shady, it's me, from the store! You remember? I sold you games! Shady, no. The aesthetic appeal of Bloodstained harkens back to the glory days of the 8, 16, and 32-bit eras, and even looks like the iconic fantasy covers that were on all those classic cardboard boxes. You remember back when box art didn't suck, but was also a dirty lie to sell you pixels? Ah, nostalgia. The environments tell a story with every room you go to. So much so that it turns the castle and its surrounding areas into something truly special. A character.
Well, I'm actually a combination of all 4 characters, 5 if you count the city of New York, yes.
It isn't as iconic as Dracula's castle, nor does it host the same charm, but that doesn't make it any less fun to play around in. Everything about Bloodstained is clearly crafted with the utmost care and respect for the games it homages, and also directly steals from. Almost blatantly. Mostly blatantly. Okay, just blatantly.
Snake? Snake?
Liquid!
That wasn't what I was expecting. But for real, David Hayter's back, everyone! Of course, not as our long lost friend, because
Konami!
Instead, he joins this cast as a Japanese warrior with a particular hatred. For what, you ask? This coma victim and all her child slave friends. Yeah, he comes off as a bit of a dick. Introducing Miriam, one of the 2 strongest shardbinders created by a dark, overly powerful alchemist guild in order to gain control over these demons and their great power. Surprise! They f***ing don't. The other is Jabble, Gable, Gablob, Gablain, Gabriel, Gabarlnin, Gabalnin.
You said it right the first time, you dick!
Okay, sweet, nice. I nailed it. Alright. The other is Jeeble, an assholishly pretty individual who I'm sure is more than aware of it, but his poor personality traits are likely being instilled by Surprise, an evil demon lady. Her design is super badass, by the by. Throw in an alchemist who experiments on children, yourself included, a little girl definitely voice acted by a middle-aged woman, an extremely untrustworthy exorcist, and you've got the makings of a surprisingly fun despite predictable cast of characters. Then there's Lindsay.
Kill those murderers dead!
She has some anger issues to work through though.
Bloodstained has a very interesting squad assembled for their little romp to the hellhole. You playing as the titular character, Miriam, trying her best to make you forget that there was a first game, which is so not canon. You can see the bonfire where they burned the old copies from the ISS. The irony is they never released physical copies. You and Johannes work together to stop your good friend I'm totally thinking of my own free will and not being controlled Jeebles from summoning the demon lord, Christian Bale.
It's just Bale!
That's what I said. You have some other supporting characters to work with, like our favorite church-going dominatrix, Dominique, who definitely isn't a bad person, Alfred, who only wants to read a book, and then the most important character of them all, murder them all, Lindsay.
Kill that murderer dead!
Oddly enough, she's the nicest character in the game. Okay, the side characters get the shaft a bit when it comes to explaining their motivation. You can see the backstory is there, but it's expanding on it where they fall short. This game follows the Dark Souls approach to when explaining lore. Though with all their faults, the voice acting is still a million times better than Symphony of the Night.
Wait! I beg of you!
Doing some more time travel, we're going back to the 1800s for this one. The Alchemy Guild, in an attempt to compete with the popularity of the church, decided to try some new things to gain favor. This included rallying children and turning them into Miriam. The other to brood in his resentment of the church and his only remaining brethren. 10 years. That would be Jabel. Is there a better Not doing this again than a small village in an undisclosed location in Europe. No siree, Bob. Now that he's slowly cracking the bend people's will, and to top it all off, is the leader of 26 legions of demons. So, Bad news bears to say, there's a good chance she may be influencing poor Jabel's decision making, but who am I to say? I'm just a poor storyteller.
Okay, so I played this game from start to finish and I didn't get half of that.
Wikipedia.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that, guys. This setup is basic and a little stereotypical, but that's what this game is. A love letter to some classic 80s fantasy tropes. It may get simple and clean at points, but that's all it's usually trying to be. You can tell the team just made a game consisting of all the things they love and just had fun with it.
Bloodstained is an incredibly simple story about friendship and the oaths we make to those we love. Granted, the core of this story completely decimates the ideas of the first game, straight up Days of Future Past style, and makes it its own unique IP. Miriam awakens from a coma after 10 years to find out her best friend and only other shardbinder left, Jeebles, has gone mad with power and is attempting to bring upon the end of the world with his dark demon powers. Being that you're the only other person who can wield the shards with minimal corruption, which is only ever mentioned and never acted upon, it is up to you to stop him. Honestly, that's the full gist of the story. Yeah, there's a bit more complications than that, but that delves into spoilers, especially if you've never played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. All in all, Bloodstained's characters tell a familiar story, with enough heart that it keeps you interested from start to finish.
Oh! I get it.
Because the familiars.
I may not have been familiar with the subject material it was based on, but...
What do you mean you're unfamiliar?
I haven't played Castlevania. I'm sorry, Josh. Josh, no! You have so much to live for!
I'm gonna shoot you!
That's fair. But honestly, I didn't need to be to enjoy the journey. This genre offers so much to so many different kinds of players. It caters to anyone looking for a platformer, an RPG, an action game, or features like collectathons, customizability, or combo fighting. And that's not even the tip of the cathedral. With this massive array of gameplay techniques in a vastly intriguing world filled with lively set pieces, there's no kind of gamer I wouldn't recommend this gem to. Or should I say, Crystal.
No! Bloodstained is a throwback and a half to a simpler yet more complicated era of gaming. Gone is the hand-holding of today's gaming and replaced strictly with your own curiosity, which it heavily banks its design on. This game can be extremely easy to the initiated, but also incredibly challenging at the same time with those unfamiliar with its classic origins. It becomes incredibly easy when you start collecting enough of the better shards, which is also one of the game's biggest weaknesses. There are far too many of them, and even less than enough that are actually useful. But with a compelling arsenal of weaponry and enough demons, random cats, and dog monsters to kill, and a runtime that doesn't drag on for an eternity, Bloodstained, despite its numerous flaws, becomes an instant classic of the Golden Age. But don't expect a Netflix TV series anytime soon. It's not gonna happen.
Well, thanks for watching this week's episode, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, press that bell. Just do it all. Do it all right now.
I'll wait.
And remember that hat we were gonna give away about 5 months ago? We're finally doing it! Check us out on Monday and we'll let you know if you actually won it or not.
But not you, Theo.
Not you. Not you.
Okay, maybe you.
It's probably gonna be you, but...
Remember, people, carpal tunnel is real. So don't forget to do your stretches and always practice safe gaming.
Yay.
We're sick. Sorry. The other is Jabel. An assholeishly... Sorry?
Jeeble.
Jeeble. See?
Joke end.
Joke ends! We completed the joke.
Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Funny.
Huh?